Let me start this video off by saying happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys are all safe and I hope everyone's having the best time they possibly can in the middle of this pandemic. If you clicked on this video in hopes to hear anything in regard to the Cold War campaign review that I'm in the middle of making, I will be posting that video around next week since I gotta beat the campaign still and edit the entire video, which does take a very long time, even if it doesn't seem like it does. However, this video specifically will be a little different from my normal stuff because it's Thanksgiving and I wanted to get this video out here as quickly as possible rather than spend hours upon hours editing, and since there's not really much need for that here with this topic, it doesn't necessarily make sense for me to break my back in Sony Vegas or some nonsense. By the way, my family has no idea how to be quiet in any capacity whatsoever, so I'm sorry for the background noise if there is any, and I shouldn't say if there is any because there definitely will be. But I specifically wanted to comment on how YouTube and technology in general has literally destroyed the brains of children across the world. This video is going to be fairly short and I might rant a little bit, so I'm sorry ahead of time. But giving a kid an iPad with YouTube on it is easy to get them off your back, and it takes no effort at all, which makes it appealing for a lot of parents who need to get a lot of nonsense done, you know, like chores and work and whatnot, daily activities that obviously kids can't be bothering them with. But this easy way out creates such an addiction for kids. If YouTube or technology in general is given to a child in this manner, then it becomes insanely hard for them to get off of it when it's time to stop. And I'm sure we've all seen this in essentially a vast majority of children. If YouTube autoplay is on as well, like let's say you give a kid an iPad that has YouTube Kids already loaded up on it, like you already opened the app and whatnot, then the kids will literally never want to stop. Because of that autoplay feature, it kind of ruins kids, I'm not gonna lie. And it really doesn't help that kid YouTubers tend to manipulate children into purchasing stuff and whatnot. Literally just think of V-Bucks in Fortnite and apply that to YouTube. It is the same exact concept. If a YouTuber can get an easily manipulated audience like children on their side, then being able to influence them into purchasing stuff is gonna be actually pretty easy. And I'm sure most of you guys have seen this with literally any kid YouTuber. It's kind of one of the reasons why nobody wants to fucking watch them that's above the age of like 10. So in my room, I like to have my computer and whatnot, my like games and shit, and I'm pretty invested in technology. I like it a lot. I don't necessarily abuse it or anything like that, and I use it for a lot of work. I like to have a comfy station, and I like to have, you know, the environment all set up properly. So when I am doing work on my computer, you know, I feel pretty solid. I'm a huge believer in the environment you're in dictates the amount of work or the quality of work you're going to get done. Now, the thing is, whenever my nephews come downstairs, because I'm in the basement of my house right now, and they walk into my room, they get so wowed by all the stuff that I have in my room, and considering it's all like technology and stuff, and they're already like addicted to video games at this point, they literally come in my room all the time, which isn't necessarily a bad thing or anything, but if I am trying to get work done, that can become a hassle, and it always stems back to video games in general, like VR or my computer or Xbox or whatnot, because they know that their parents are not going to allow them to play to the degree that I have the freedom to. So anytime they come in my room, the first thing they do is talk about playing a game on my computer or loading up Fortnite on my Xbox. And the other thing is, my oldest niece, who's 2 years old, walks in my room and immediately goes for my computer because of all like the rainbow stuff and the fact that she knows YouTube is on it because she's been given an iPad with YouTube on it in the past. So she immediately wants to come down here and see what I've got here because she knows I'm going to be a little bit more lenient with her considering she's my niece and not my child. So she uses me as a scapegoat to kind of get what she wants when her mother tells her not to do the things that she wants to do. Now, my sister and her husband are very strict about technology usage, and so the kids never really get to play whenever they want. But I'm certain almost all of you have seen this kind of thing, and once it begins, it's nearly impossible to break the addiction. The second you give a kid an iPad in the manner of, oh, you are crying, therefore I'm going to give you the iPad, or oh, I am busy, here is an iPad, go entertain yourselves for a few hours. That is probably the worst fucking thing you can do. But not all parents are strict in this manner like my sisters and their husbands are, and many parents will use this easy way out to get their kids to calm down and get off their backs. Do not do this at all. I'm sure some of you guys are adults. I would imagine at least a little bit of you guys maybe even have kids, but don't do this at all, for the love of God. I think you guys already know that, but try and fight it in the situations that you would immediately go to technology as a solution for. Use technology as a reward for kids, not a commonplace thing to do. Tell them to do a chore or their schoolwork or anything of that nature, and then reward them with technology after getting what's important done. I specifically am surrounded by technology literally all the time. time, but it's the things I do with it that constitute its purpose. Most of the time, I'm either doing schoolwork or researching stuff for school or videos that I make, recording, editing, drawing, etc. I actually don't play nearly as many video games as other people do, and when I do, it's usually as a reward for completing something important to begin with. Even though technology has become an all-encompassing thing that literally runs most people's lives, I think it's a very good thing to look at technology as a luxury rather than a necessity. And if kids that are 4 and under are addicted to a screen, then there is a clear problem with how this world is heading. This video was fairly short. I really only wanted to comment on this fairly quickly because I'm sure most of you guys already know some of the things that I've already laid out for you guys in this video, but this isn't necessarily to serve as a look, you're stupid, therefore do this because I'm smarter than you. This is more so just to remind you guys, even though it's the holidays and whatnot, don't just give your kids an iPad in order to get them off your back. I think that's the worst possible thing you can do, and instead, again, give it to them as a reward. I'm sure a lot of dishes are going to be dirty, and I'm sure many of our houses are going to be completely wrecked, so again, use technology as a reward for cleaning up or doing whatever schoolwork they need to get done that's maybe due next week. I know I have stuff to do, so essentially do it in that manner. I think that's a lot better of a way to handle this kind of situation, even if they do complain. And if they do complain, just don't give in. But if you guys like this video, then give it a like. If you disliked it, then dislike it. If you did like it, however, why not subscribe? It helps me out and lets me know that the content that I'm making is the content that you guys want to see. I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving and happy New Year and happy Christmas. I'm sure I'm going to make a video leading up until then, especially the Cold War one that I was saying in the beginning here. But regardless, I hope everyone has a killer day, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. See you later.
I've been holding all I own. I've been clutching all whatever is left, ever is left.